Hello dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mr. Abdul Qayyum, Assistant Teacher English, Bangora Malachon High School, Muradnagar, Kumilla. This is the class for the students of class 9 and 10. And today I am going to tell about a new topic, that is scene passage. In the scene passage, there are lots of parts in your textbook. Today, I have selected a nice poem for you to recite and to inform you a new topic and new information for you all. So, this is the topic about poem. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening. It was written Robert Lee Frost. Dear students, if you read some critics of writing and if you search in the net, you will know that Robert Frost was a poet of American. He has written many poems which will explore a new world, to know and to discover a new world. Stopping by Woods on a Snowy Evening is one of them. It was written by Robert Lee Frost in 1922, and this poem has been published in 1923. So, dear students, let us recite the poem, a great poem of Robert Frost. First, Stopping by Woods on a Snowing Evening, Robert Lee Frost. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His a house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little earth must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and the frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So, dear students, if you read the whole poems, you will know the reality of the world. The poet wants to show, the poet wants to express the real world from the imagination world. The poet wants here. There is lots of pains and well and way in one's life. From this well and way life, he or she wants to go back, and he just wants a peaceful moment by doing something. In this world, there are lots of problems in our life. So from this disastrous life, we will have to give some pitch, some element of pitch, to get something which will be remarked, which will be noted for every person. So, in this poem, if you read carefully, you will note some good information in your textbook. So, now let us explain for the first 4 lines. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. The poet thinks about who wins the woods that he or she is passing through, and is fairly sure of knowing the landowner. However, the owner's home is far away in the village, and thus he is physically incapable of seeing the speaker pause to watch the snow fall in the forest. For this reason, the poet stops here, and the poet sees the natural beauty of the country. So, this is the most important explanation for these 4 lines. And then, my little oars must think it quiet to stop without a farmhouse near. Between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. In this line, the poet wants to know the speaker finds the oars. The oars shakes the bell on the harness. In this poem, the poet thinks that his little oars it was thinkable. Why the poet was stopped here? Because there is a farmhouse near. There were no farmhouses near between the woods and the frozen lake, and then the situation was the darkest evening of the year. So why the poet stopped here? He gives his harness bells a shake to ask there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and the downy flake. The horse shakes the bell on its harness as if asking if the speaker has made a mistake by stopping. The only other sound besides the ringing of these bells is that of the wind and the falling snowflakes, which the speaker lingers to the feathers of the goes down. In the last 4 lines, this is the most important lines for every man. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. In this line, the poet finds the woods. The speaker also finds the woods very alluring, drawn both to their darkness and how vast and all encompassing they seem. However, the speaker has obligations to fulfill elsewhere. Thus, though he or she would like to stay and rest, the speaker knows there are many more miles to go before that will be possible. And then, in the same way, in these 4 lines, the poet wants to show he has more responsibility towards society, towards country. He will have to fill up this. The world and the scenery of that particular moment of the nature is very so nice, is very awesome. But the poet should not to stop here, because there were no farmhouse, there were no a home to stop here. And why the poet stopped? Because the poet thinks that he should not stop here, because he will have to go a long way to fill up his dream, to fill up his most full dream. He has more responsibility towards his society, towards his country, towards his own family. For this reason, he will have to go back. In a sense, dear students, if you read the whole passage and if you read the whole poems, you will find out a most important thing, that is vision of life. What is life? For what we will live in this world? This is not, in a sense, that we will living in this world for eating something, for eating everything what we liked. No, dear students, you have more and much responsibility towards the society, because you have a dream to adorn the society. You have a dream, you have a perspective dream to go forward, to read more, to recover a new world. Just like Napoleon. You will have to go forward and you will have to serve the people like Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who had worked for a helpless people. You will find out in this poem that lots of responsibility has bent on your head. So don't try to shy this. You will come forward and then you will try to fill up these dreams. And once upon a time, our country, our society will be raised a peaceful country. In every person should properly use his proper duties. Otherwise, the nation will not get the hope of light. So, dear student, I hope that if you read the poem in the same way, you can find out anything most important element like us. And we also hope that your best of luck. For today, Allah Hafiz.